So once again, very good morning, dear students, youths, friends, and soldiers of Swami Vivekananda. Today, we will discuss in our life building classes one very important topic which we have been actually discussing for past few days, and this is character building in a nutshell. Why in a nutshell? Because first we will have a clear view of that thing what we call character and the method of character building. So let's start. What is character? According to Swami Vivekananda, character is agglomeration of propensities. Now, this thing known as propensity, what is it and how is it formed? If we understand it, then there will be no problem in just developing or building these propensities, which unite combinedly. They build our character. Character is not something which is the simple or single thing. It is a multi-dimensional aspect of human being or every being, and then uh, this character building means actually developing or acquiring those values, which which are very much essential for me, for every human being, to reach the ultimate goal of humankind. Now, what is this propensity and how is it developed? We all know that each and every work, each and every thought which we think, and the way we behave with others, or just under a particular circumstance, it most of these things are done involuntarily, or you can say in the language of biological science that we do it instinctively without thinking much of it. You are traveling by a bus, and the bus is moving through the road with trees on both the sides, and some of the branches of the tree, they are hanging just inside the road, and they have stretched their as if branches up to the road. And every time the bus goes from that road, in most cases the branches of the this tree, they dash against the window glasses, side window glasses. And if you are sitting just beside the window of the bus, then what happens? The moment, the window glass it is closed. The window is closed, and you can see everything outside through the glasses. But all of a sudden, when a branch of a tree that just strikes against the window glass, instinctively we close our eyes and try to gird our face with our arm in that way, isn't it? It happens. Why does it happen? It is called instinct, and I do not think much before doing it. So in almost every cases, we have developed such kind of propensities. These actually, in the language of psychology, we call it propensity. And interestingly, this word propensity has been used by Swami Vivekananda, and afterwards, uh, Akhil Bharat Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal. It is mentioned in the books, and especially this has been brought to our notice by Sri Navani Haran Mukhopadhyay in his book Character Building, that word particular word propensity, it is not frequently used even by great psychologists. Uh, and I believe that most of the people, those who are psychiatrists or psychologists, they are not so much familiar with that term propensity, or if they know also, they do not know the actual import of the role of propensity in determining our character, the role of propensities in guiding us in various through various activities in our day-to-day life. Now let's go to the matter directly. What is propensity? The propensity occurs in that way that first, before doing any kind of work, before just behaving or reacting to any kind of action done by environment or by another individual, any person, we immediately respond. We immediately respond, or we do any kind of work preceded by thought. Thought occurs first, and then the practical application of that thought is called action. Thought precedes action. Now any action we can do once, any action or any kind of such kind of habit we call it, we which in the formative period we do it, we may do it once. It does not immediately become permanent with me. Little bit you can say in the first stage of becoming permanent, and it immediately it does not become just practice with me if I don't do it repeatedly, right? And in most cases, the wrong things, the harmful things, any kind of addiction, or just this kind of that our attachment to social media, and without social media we are attached, but without any benefit for ourselves and for others. It is mere wastage of time without any purpose. These are all harmful tendencies for a student and for youth who is on the way of just building his career and character for serving the nation, for serving the people of the country. This is the sole motive of these classes, these character building or life building classes, that only one will be benefited by these classes and build his career and become very successful, selfish giant. This is not the motive at all. He must be a good citizen, good leader, unselfish, unselfish and dedicated, just patriot of this country, serving the people of this country and the people of the world at large will be his or her utmost priority. And that is why I'm just telling that the kind of attachment, the kind of thoughts that occur in my mind, and the accordingly, if we do any action, if they are harmful actions, but they have a kind of attraction which we cannot deny, by doing wrong also, the kind of pleasure we get, it is very difficult to doing which are really good thing for us, isn't it? Watching an interesting movie, maybe thriller, is much more interesting than studying a biography of any great person, or her teachings. Though it may vary, but in most cases this is the thing, that bad things, bad habits, all these things which are connected with our it is called physical bodily pleasure, sensuous pleasure, attract us infinitely more, rather infinitely more than the good things, because we are duped. It is a kind of if you are duped, means you got an addict. So we are in that way from our childhood. We are due. A child when cries, in order to get rid of the child, the mother plays the cartoon on TV or on just on mobile phone or any kind of that electronic media, and to get rid of the child. So the child in that way is induced uh, to uh, believe or to depend only on sensual pleasure, which give immediate immediate result, but which has an enduring bad effect, because if we do it repeatedly, the same action, it becomes our habit. Fine. Now, habits are, I have said already, in the first stage of developing any kind of action, any kind of behavior, even any kind of thought, any kind of posture or gesture of our body. So they are recorded in our brain, and then what happens? Uh, if we do it repeatedly, it becomes habit. So thought, which first occurs in the mind, the most dominating thought are generally those who are connected with our physical enjoyment, uh, and then visual enjoyment, and in just in brief, all kind of sensual enjoyments. The thoughts which are connected with that, they have much more dominating effect on our mind, and the mind is affected, and the thought is occurring and forcing me forcing me to just act according to the particular thought. So now thought in that way becomes action. Action being repeatedly done, it becomes our habit. And then when habits become so much ripe, having become so much permanent, fixed with my nature, that if I want not to do that particular action, it will create a kind of uneasiness, a kind of pain sort of thing. It may create your spasm in just all over your body, and just if you cannot do such kind of work, such kind of bad habits in most cases, or even good habits if you can develop, they have also the same kind of effect if you don't do it. Now, so ripened habits become propensities. So when we are talking about character building, we are actually uh, consciously consciously deliberating those aspects of character which makes an individual a nobler human being, a man with all kind of good character traits. Now, I have already mentioned several times those character traits like honesty, truthfulness, integrity, hard work, sympathy for others, perseverance, yes, purity, perseverance. So, and then in that way, we can acquire self reliance, self confidence, and eventually that will definitely give me self respect. Self respect is the gem of all character qualities, all values. Self respect, Atma Shraddha. That Shraddha is really an unique word in Sanskrit, which has no which has no synonym in any other language. It's very interesting, and that is why character is dealt here in India by our rishis and yogis since time immemorial. In modern days, we can call them the spiritual scientists, the rishis, the seers of truths, the sages. They are spiritual scientist, as coined by Swami Ranganatha Nandaji, the legendary monk of Ramakrishna Mission. Now, let us go to that matter of propensities. So these things like honesty, truthfulness, hard work, sincerity, then perseverance, these are very much essential to achieve success in any work. This is very much essential, and whatever work, whatever behavior we are doing, the main objective through them is to establish those values, is to acquire those values just more and more in degree, in increasing degrees. So that is the purpose. And if we know it consciously, and if we try to acquire these values consciously, we have to think them very seriously. And tomorrow we'll discuss how to think, how to just remove, or just you can say subdue all kind of negative thoughts, negative character traits if I already have developed them, and then how to just make the necessary thoughts which are very much important for your character, for character building of everyone, how to just make them the predominating thought in my mind, so that I can act according to these the thoughts. This we must develop, we must discuss, and uh, now once again, just I'm repeating that first comes thought, then thought which is ready to practice becomes action. The practical application of thought becomes is called action. Any action done repeatedly again and again, it becomes our habit. Now if habit becomes so ripe that if we want to just give it up, it is not going to let us do. It will not allow us to leave it, to quit it. Just like that young man rather, who had a very intimate friend, and the friend, for some reason or other, just he that friend has cut off relationship with him, and he is a circus boy, that young man we are talking about. So he decided that the next day's circus performance will be his last, and his friend was also supposed to come and see uh, just that circus. And so he has made up his mind, and he was actually just an important uh, he was an important person in that game of bar. In circus, hanging birds are there. They have to jump from one bird to another in various postures. Sometimes they throw their entire body with the legs upside, and another one is there, okay, who will uh, catch the legs so that he does not fall down. But this time, that young man decided that before the last lap, he would not just land on the ground with his legs downside, rather his head upside down. So by doing it, he wanted to just commit suicide in front of his friend. So after all the phases of that bar game, he jumped from one bar to another with much more enthusiasm that day. And before he took the last lap, and just about to land, he closed his eyes, remembered his friend, and thinking that he just was going to fall on the ground with his head just downward. So after he landed on the ground, he thought that uh, he had died. But when he opened his eyes, he saw that his legs are on the ground and head upwards, and no harm has happened to him. How was it possible? It is because of his propensity. Propensity he has developed in such a manner that by mistake also he could not do that mistake. Every time he fell on the ground after the bar game, always he put his legs on the ground and head upwards, and when he learnt it, it became a habit, and habit became his propensity, and that propensity has now become a kind of integral part with his life in such a manner that he, when he wanted to just violate it, he wanted to do otherwise, he couldn't do it. So all the values, all these propensities, good character traits, we have to develop, we have to acquire them. Otherwise, they are not going to be an integral part. The main thing is that unless we develop, we cannot do any work, whether it is study, whether our preparation for job. And by acquiring these values, the 24 qualities which Muhammad has prescribed for us to practice in our day-to-day life, and through conscious efforts we have to develop them inside us, and by doing it we can build a successful character. There is no doubt about it. And as I have always said, thus building your life, your character, you will surely become a blessing to the motherland, to your parents, and to those who really matter for you. Thank you, everyone. Again, we are meeting next day.